Hey friends, come on in. Let's talk some immigration news on this Friday, July 12th. Today's July 12th. Come on in. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law, where we believe that freedom is now. Freedom is not tomorrow, next week, or next year. Freedom is actually now. So come on in, type in freedom now, say hello as well, and let me know where you're watching from. Hey there, Crystal. Thank you for being the first. Crystal is the first. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. And of course, give me some hearts and likes. Hey there, Rand. Hey there, Amy. Good to see you as usual. Hey there, guys. Come on in. Freedom now. Say hello. It's so nice to be before you this evening, early evening. Friday evening. I'm eager to also get out of the office and go start this weekend. But before I do so, I want to talk with you about some important immigration news that came out this week. I see that Jay's in the house from Edison, New Jersey. Hey there, Manso. Thank you for being here. Mabel, hey there, Freedom Now. Type in Freedom Now. Let me know where you're watching from, the city, state, or country. Okay, or country. Hey there, Charmaine, as usual. My Jamaican family are in the house. Paul, hey there. Good to see you. Patricio, Royal King, thank you for being here. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. James, thank you from Long Island. Where are you? There you go. Freedom now. Friends, today we're going to talk about some things that happened on Capitol Hill that is just an attempt by House Republicans to make a statement. It doesn't mean a whole lot when you really think about what they did, but they're trying to make a very big statement. We'll talk about what they did this week. We will also go into this is the weekly immigration news summary, by the way, that we sent out to our subscribers on our email list, the top 7. We're going to cover the top 3 in this video. We're going to talk about an action by the House of Representatives to ban non-citizens from voting in federal elections. We're also going to talk about a new Gallup poll about how Americans feel about immigration. And then we're also going to talk about some good news out of the Visa Bulletin for August. The August Visa Bulletin has some good news that we'll touch on. So stick around, watch all the way until the end. And also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not yet subscribed to McBean Immigration TV. We're here for you if you have an immigration problem as well. We're a wonderful team of attorneys and support staff who are working on complex immigration cases. You may reach out to our office up to 8 o'clock tonight, as a matter of fact, to book an appointment. You can call us at 888-462-4006, and the information is scrolling below. So reach out to us so that we can talk about your immigration problem. But let's get into the very first issue, friends. The first issue is this, that the U.S. House of Representatives passed just this week. They passed legislation. It's so important to stay alert and know what's going on Capitol Hill. But they passed the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, otherwise known as the SAVE Act. And this act, some are saying, well, this wasn't even really necessary. It's quite redundant. Why did they even do this? But it's a statement, as I've said earlier. And this act is now on the Senate side for their consideration, and we're expecting that the Senate will not take this up. But this act, it requires states to obtain documentation or proof of U.S. citizenship when an individual is registering to vote in a federal election. And it's an effort to curb non-citizens from voting, because there's a lot of misinformation out there saying that non-citizens or immigrants, undocumented individuals in the United States are actually voting in large numbers in U.S. elections. And that is actually factually incorrect, not the case. But this legislation would direct states, command states to do certain things, like require very serious documentation when individuals are registering to vote, such as a U.S. passport, military ID, other types of government issued ID in connection with the Real ID Act, and some other things. And it also for those states that allow voters to register by mail, this act also says that folks shall not be able to register to vote by mail unless they show up in person as well at an appropriate office and show proof of U.S. citizenship, or if they're living in a state that requires that allows same-day registration the same day as an election day, they would also need to bring proof of U.S. citizenship. And you might be saying, well, this is like a no-brainer, right? I mean, why shouldn't folks show proof of the fact that they're a U.S. citizen when they're registering to vote? Well, first of all, one thing to keep in mind is that there are some individuals, actually U.S. citizens, who actually do not have some of these, what we would consider basic forms of identification for various reasons. They just don't have it. And so for some people, this will be a barrier to them and their ability to register to vote. And so the SAVE Act passed the House by 221 to 198. 5 Democrats voted yes in favor of this, and they're not expecting the Senate to do much of anything with this one. So I wanted you guys to be aware of a recent action on Capitol Hill. That again, this is election year, so we're going to see a lot of different things, and this is legislation that Donald Trump is a strong proponent of, again, to in my opinion, to try to make it a little harder for certain people to vote. Now, let's talk about a new Gallup poll. Okay, a new Gallup poll shows that a lot of Americans are not happy with immigration, and as a matter of fact, they would like to see mass deportation. They would like to see our numbers go down. Okay, so according to this Gallup poll, sharply more Americans want to curb immigration to U.S. 55% want immigration levels reduced. And the article says that this is the first time since 2005 that a majority of Americans have wanted there to be less immigration. And the figure in this new poll is the largest percentage holding that view since a 58% reading in 2001. The record high was 65% recorded in 1993 and 1995. And they have this really nice little chart here that shows that the question that was posed is, in your view, should immigration be kept at its present level, increased, or decreased? And so we see that 55% of folks say, well, it should be decreased. And the question is, well, if Americans are actually thinking this way, what are policymakers, what are they doing? Who is supporting decreasing the numbers? And of course, Donald Trump is supporting mass deportation, and people they're agreeing with that, guys. They are agreeing with that. Mass deportation, as you guys have heard me say in the past, is highly unrealistic and very difficult to achieve in light of the fact that from a systemic standpoint, it's just not something that we can manage. Okay, we don't have enough folks to deport deport individuals. Okay, so that's that. Now let's just shift gears real quickly to some good news before we go today. And the good news, friends, really comes out of the latest visa bulletin. The latest visa bulletin is out, and it's August visa bulletin, and it has some good news for those of you who are inside of the United States and you're looking to adjust your status, but you're waiting on your priority date to become current so that you could submit your application. This good news that I'm about to share primarily impacts spouses of green card holders who are here inside of the United States, who have a priority date before the date that is shown on the visa bulletin, and you're in lawful status. You had not worked without authorization here in the United States, and you're otherwise eligible to adjust your status. So if that is you, this is good news for you, because the visa bulletin is showing, and this is, I'm looking at the date for filing family sponsored visa applications, and this is table B, and you'll see that the F2A category is the new date here is June 15th. Let me shift this over a little bit. June 15th, 2024. So if you have a priority date that is earlier than June 15th, 2024, and you meet the other criteria, as I've discussed before here, with a lawful status, let's say, for instance, if you're on an F1 student visa and you had filed an I-130 before this date, and you have a priority date before this June 15th, 2024 date, according to the visa bulletin for August, your priority date is current, and you can actually submit the adjustment of status application. Last month, July, just to give you a comparison of where things were in July, in this particular category, the government had a date of November 1st, 2023. So this is a huge leap, a huge jump, and really great news for those of you who are in the United States, married to a green card holder. You're in lawful status. This does not help you if you are married to a U.S. citizen, green card holder, and you're out of status. If you're out of status and married to a green card holder, this news is not for you. Only if you're in status and you have a priority date that's earlier than what's on the visa bulletin, June 15th, 2024, can you adjust your status, okay? So, friends, that's what's going on. Check out the Department of State visa bulletin for August for more updates about other categories. Many categories did not see any movement. Some did. We didn't see the retrogression that we were expecting for certain categories. But check it out for yourself. Just go on just Google Department of State visa bulletin for August or visa bulletin August, and you will see the information that I've just shared with you. Check your category to see what's going on with your category. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. I wanted to keep this one very short and sweet. Also, last thing is this: I have not seen the Federal Register yet for parole in place for spouses of U.S. citizens, PIP. So as soon as that is announced or comes out, I will be sure to let you guys know what it says and what the requirements, more details about how this parole in place for spouses of U.S. citizens will work. So just stay tuned for that. Guys, thanks so much. Again, we're here for you. Reach out to us at McBean Law at 888-462-4006, or go to McBeanLaw.com's website, fill out our form so that we can reach out to you to book an appointment. I will be back before you on Monday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a terrific weekend, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.